And now at this point, we pretty much have our web page. It's as far as we can get it in CodePen, because now I want to upload a video into one of these articles, and I can't do that on CodePen unless I use an absolute URL, because CodePen doesn't allow you to upload files on your own with a free account. But this looks pretty good. This is, yeah. You know what? I'm fairly happy with this. This is pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is in CodePen, I'm going to select all, copy, and open up VS Code. And this is just from our last video, so let's go ahead and close that. Create a new page, and what do we want to call this? We're going to call this index.html. So I'm going to use HTML5 colon, oh no, I lied. I'm going to use HTML:5 and then hit tab. And whenever you have a nice feature like this, honestly, don't be ashamed to use it. This feature is really, really nice. It gets you pretty far. It builds out all the stuff. I mean, granted, this only takes like a minute or two to write all of this, but hey, a shortcut is a shortcut. And now we're not missing our doc type. We're not missing our lang. We're not missing the responsive part that we need. We're not missing our title. So my web page. And it's just faster. It's a good way to live your life. Because hey, if someone's going to do extra work for you at no extra cost, why not take it? And that someone in this case is VS Code. So I have my page to plop in here. Let's make that smaller because this is getting pretty hard to read because there's a lot of code. Nav, okay. Formatting troubles because VS Code. I don't know why it does this. It drives me nuts. And let's go down here and fix that one up. You don't need to be super specific. I come from a Python background, so indentation is pretty important to me. Okay, let's go ahead and open up this page in Firefox. Let's go by date modified, index.html. Hello, this is our page, but now it's in a proper format. In CodePen, we didn't need all the head. We didn't need the body. CodePen just assumes that everything goes into the body. But in a proper web page, we do need that. So let's go ahead. Let's add an image to JavaScript, and let's add a video to HTML. So scroll on up, and let's format this document. There we go. For that, I just right-clicked and went to Format Document. I didn't realize it had so many problems. Okay, HTML. We said we wanted a video in here, so maybe we put the video before the text. Let's go ahead and add video. And we could use source. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the long way. And I just zoomed in there. Source as an element src is going to be, well, we need to figure out what video to put in here. So VS Code is telling me that I have different files that I can use or different folders that I can use. So let's type in videos, click that, bunny.mp4. We're already familiar with this. Type is equal to video/mpeg or mp4. And let's put some text in here just in case this does not work. Hey, you are using ye old browser. Please upgrade. Let's go ahead and open up Firefox. Now we're going to see this video is not going to work for us. Woo, that is a big video. And we can't start it. So we know we need to add controls. Do we want it to loop? Nah, we do not want it to loop. Maybe let's add a width as well. A width of, you know what? Let's experiment. Let's do a width of 50%. Can we do 50%? Turns out yes we can. Let's also add a div and move that over here. And all I'm doing is putting a opening and closing div tag around the video. And now it's on its own line. It's not control, it's controls. If you caught that and you're screaming at the screen, then hey, good catch. There we go, we got a video. Ba 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 ba, bunny's waking up. Sweet, we got a video. Okay, we wanted an image for JavaScript. Let's scroll down to the JavaScript one. We've got an article section. Welcome to JavaScript. Let's add an image in here, div, because we just need some sort of block element to separate our inline element of small and this guy, the paragraph. So let's add an image, and the src is going to be images, And there's actually only one in here. It's saying test image. So I'm going to select that one. Give it an alternative name. This is always a good idea. We'll call it test image. Title. Not title. Test image. And as always, we can give it a class and we can give an ID if we wanted to, but we're not going to. And let's see what happens when we do width is equal to 50% so that we can match this guy, this video. Oh, hello, look at that. So now these line up. What if we did 100%? Does that look terrible? Okay. The video might look kind of bad at 100%, but let's demonstrate. You know what? That's not bad at all. Okay, so our page it's coming along, but let's add some CSS. So we can start with this. We can go into the body and type in style is equal to background color and Gainsborough. That's what we were using in the examples. Okay, so that's grayish. So that's pretty good. We can also use a hex value if you're familiar with hex values. I'm just going to do off-white. So it's not quite white, so it's not as bright on your retinas. Next, I'm going to hop around a little bit, get rid of that border, because now that we can see where we're working, oh, look at that. We have a page that's starting to come together. We even have a column here. In that column, we wanted a sidebar. And here it is. So this is going to be more of an, not a side, it's going to be a side. So I'm going to grab all of my sidebar content, just grabbing all of that, the form, everything inside of the TD, and putting a closing and opening tag around it. Again, it makes no difference visually, but when another developer comes in here or Google hits your web page, they're going to look at that and go, oh, okay, that's a sidebar. Okay, so going back to our body, this is inline CSS. This is technically a bad way to live your life, but it is good for convenience. So let's get rid of that and let's turn it into inline CSS, or internal CSS rather. So internal CSS, that comes with the style tag. Now we need to use a selector, but remember, when we select something, the dot means class and the number sign means an ID. And if we don't give it anything, it means that's the element we're selecting. And I'm simply going to paste that in there. Go ahead, refresh my page. Nothing happens, and that is good. So we've used background color before. We can also use color. So let's go ahead and do a link. So let's grab all the A tags, and let's say the color needs to be black. So this is black, or this is black. Black is black. Oh, there we go. Our links are now black. We can do text decoration. And do we want underline? No underline? Let's say none. Oh, look at that. So now there's no links under there. This is looking good. Now we haven't dealt with text decoration, and I'm getting into some CSS at this point. And I'm not expecting you to know CSS, but it's at this point, once we're done HTML, we can start making things look really nice. So we can also select all of our input areas and say width of 100%, border 1 pixel solid, black, no, let's make it 555. You can actually see what that color is. VS Code just gives me a little clip of what that looks like, a little palette. Oh, look at that. There we go. Width is too wide, 80%. Padding, 5 pixels. Hey, look at this. This is turning out pretty nice. Let's do input and button. Oh, hello. This is getting pretty nice. And now we have a page that, has something on it at least. Let's add one class of logo to whatever our title is. And we're going to select that. .logo. Remember, this means class, that period means class. And logo is going to be color of blue. We can also do a font size of, 30 pixels. Does that make a difference? Yeah, it does, something like that. So again, you don't need to know that part, but it is super easy to dive into CSS. Now, when I'm done all of this, what I like to do is just grab that. So I just cut all of it. I selected all my CSS. And I am going to create a link to a new file. So this is going to be a rel of a style sheet and an href to, was it called CSS? Yep, CSS / mypage.css. And now I'm going to create a new file, so file new or command N or control N, and I'm going to paste this in here. And I'm going to save this. And the folder I saved it into was called CSS, but this was called my page, my page.css. And when I save and refresh, everything will still work normally. So there we go. We have a pretty nice page going on here. Not bad for pretty much just HTML. Now your task for this video is to create the same layout that I did. I'm going to show you this image here where you should have a navigation, maybe a few links in here. Create a main section, a body of your page, and create a table inside of it. And then create some sections on the left, create an aside on the right, and create a footer. And lastly, when you're done your project, take a screenshot, or you can put it up on CodePen. Your video might not work, but that's okay. The rest of it will work. Put it up on CodePen. Remember to try to do all of this from memory if you can. Try as hard as you can to use just your memory. But if you can't, and you get totally stuck, that's okay. And I'm also going to share my pen with you in here so that you can see exactly how I did it in a more interactive style. Good luck, and when you're done, we'll head over to that final summary video.